The formula to win Super Bowl 52 was exactly what we saw today. What an amazing goal line stand. Falcons go down. Eagles with their backs against the wall. Underdogs doing what they do best, defying the odds. The Eagles, holy shit, they're going to the NFC Championship game. Philly 500 is here. I'm Adrian Fedque. Deep penetration from Fletcher Cox for 60 minutes. Eagles, amazing victory, 15-10.
No sweat, no problem. Atlanta taken out. You had to take the Falcons out. But in all seriousness, this is a great job by the Eagles. What a game. What a game to the end, to the wire. It was unbelievable. And look, Eagles are going to host the first time since 2004, the NFC Championship game. I like our chances. I love it. What a great game. I'm sorry, my voice is starting to go.
This game went exactly how I thought it would go. It wasn't easy. It was ugly. But guess what? At the end of the day, it's a beautiful win. What a beautiful win and a goal line stand at the end. Oh, my goodness. This defense feasting on the guards of Atlanta. Fletcher Cox. Brandon Graham had a huge game. How about Ronald Darby? The job that he did today on Julio Jones. Pretty much holding Julio Jones in check. He still got his, but limited according to what Julio Jones normally gets. So what a great job by the defense. They took over the second half. They did. And check this out. All right, so you had 9 total possessions in the game, right? The Eagles went on 3 drives where they took 5 minutes plus off the clock. So you had 1 for 14 for 86 yards, 6 minutes, 44 seconds, 12 for 74, 554, or 542, sorry about that, and 14 for 80 for 757.
Wow.
This is what you need to do in the playoffs. Keep the defense fresh and feasting and getting after the quarterback. Oh, my goodness. And Nicky Foles. Oh, he got going
six.
In the half. And
Nicky Six.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about it.
I was going to say Nicky Six found himself, man. He found himself at halftime. I don't know what Doug said. I don't know what they did. But Nick Foles came out, in my opinion, the first half of this game, looking like what we saw the last few weeks, for the most part. But in the second half, he found himself. He was Foles that we expect, the Foles that we knew could show up. And he made some big plays, big passes. I think it really started, to be honest with you, I think he got a little lucky. At the end of the half, he throws a ball, really bad thrown ball. The guy goes up, the Atlanta Falcon, to grab it. It hits off his knee, bounces to Torrey Smith, who catches it, gets in a position. Then he makes a beautiful pass at the sideline to Alshon. They get the field goal. I really think that kind of calmed Foles down. In a weird way, at that point, Foles became a different player the rest of the game, for the most part.
That's a great point. That really is, because right after that, you had the 15-yard out route near the sideline. Perfect throw to Jeffrey. You get the field goal before the half. And then in the second half, you had Jeffrey going on that one drive, and you got the RPO.
Yeah.
It was the RPO. And, I'm going to give Doug Peterson some credit. How about this? Doug Peterson catering the offense a little bit more to Nick Foles. And I talked about this, in our preview show, and this is something Doug talked about in his press conferences. He wanted the offense to be exactly how it was before, exactly how it was with Wentz. And, well, it didn't really work out for them, did it? So those 2 weeks, he added in some RPO, and it allows Nick Foles to play with more decisiveness. It allows him to get the ball out of his hands quicker. He doesn't have to go through progressions and look at, multiple receivers. It's basically one read. You either hand the ball off or you throw the quick slant. And it made Nick Foles' job a lot easier today. He did miss throws in the first half. I mean, it was pretty bad. But second half, he turned it on. And, credit to Doug Peterson here. I know that there were times that Jay Ajayi might have, should have gotten the ball a little bit more. But I am not going to be negative about Doug in this one. I give him all the credit in the world to change the offense just enough, because Nick Foles had to do just enough for the Eagles to win this game, and he did.
Yeah, and I think not only the changes coming into the game, but I thought the changes at halftime too, that he made to start using like the slant to go and get Alshon going. I mean, there were just things that I think Doug did a great job with Nick Foles handling offense. Now, there's a few things that I wish Doug did differently or we could get back, but nobody's perfect. You're not going to have everything go your way in a game. But for the most part, I really think there was just a different Foles in the first half and the second half, and Doug did a great job recognizing that and giving Foles a chance to get into a rhythm in the second half. I mean, it got to the point in the second half where I thought, man, maybe you should start throwing a little more because Foles seems to be in rhythm. So, yeah, great job, Doug Pearson. Great coaching job. Great job, Nick Foles. Nick Foles came out of his little slump. And I think this is going to give him confidence going forward, you know. And they got to clean up the mistakes. A lot of mistakes and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, great job.
That's the other amazing thing, is that they were able to bounce back after those mistakes. You had that crazy punt off the back of Rasul Douglas' foot that just ricocheted. You know,
it ricocheted on 3 different Eagles. It went from Douglas to Robinson and then to who, I forget who the other was, Brayman. It's just like, I was like, how the hell did that happen? It was unbelievable. Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, and you also had Ajayi fumbled on his very first carry. So the first play of the game, you know, Nick Foles throws his duck up in the air. It wobbles, and it allows Torrey Smith to draw a pass interference penalty. And then Ajayi put the ball on the ground, and that is something that he is known for. He does put the ball on the ground, 2 hands on it, Jay. You know, when you fight for those extra yards, sometimes that happens. But, hey, went back to Ajayi, and, you know, he dominated at times in the first half, but Atlanta did do a better job on him. And I believe, let's see, what were the stats at the end of the day? He was 15 for 54, so 3.6 average, 32 for 96 total. So the switch that I'm making next week, LeGarrette Blount, 9 carries for 19 yards. Give them to Corey Clement, please.
Yeah, Corey Clement, I agree. No, I agree with you. And yeah, you know, and I think that the way that Atlanta looked to key, because if you remember the drive where they score, where Jai got a lot of carries, I mean, he looked like he was just killing Atlanta. He was wearing them out. And I think they came out in that second half and they really looked to key on him. And I think that helped open up some things for Foles in the passing game. The other thing I want to say, and I talked about this for 2 weeks, was to use use the screen game, use the backs out of the backfield, because that's open a lot. It's been open for weeks, and they used it, and it paid dividends for them tonight.
Yeah, and they went beef on beef. A lot of times we saw multiple tight ends in the game, and what a block by Trey Burton on the touchdown for Blount. So he set the edge. So perfect cut block there. And other things that I saw, you had 13 personnel. You also, if you watched my film study from yesterday, we saw a wrinkle to a formation that Brent and I were talking about. So you had the 2 receivers stacked to the tight to the formation. But in this instance, we saw Aguilar playing the halfback role, and he actually got a handoff on. Yeah, so that was a great little wrinkle to that play, and he got a first down. It was a 3rd and 3. Yeah. So using a lot of different formations, a lot of different running plays, and you know, at the end of the day, they didn't run for a great yards per carry average, but it allowed Nick Foles. It put him in more manageable 3rd down situations, and he did a much better job, obviously, than one of 17 that the Eagles came in on 3rd down with him at quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. To me, we got to see, you know, what I think Nick Foles, more of what I think he is in the second half. I didn't think he played great in the first half, obviously. I mean, he missed that pass to Trey Burton, was wide open. Yeah. There was like that bad interception that should have been a pick. He wasn't good, in my opinion, in the first half. But in the second half, he was a different guy. And see, the one thing I've always liked about Nick Foles is I think Foles is mentally tough. He doesn't get down on himself. He can block that stuff out. And you saw that in the second half. He played great in the second half. I hope that he's really going to ride this next week. And as far as Aguilar goes, You got to use Aguilar like that. It was a genius way for the Eagles to get him involved. He's the explosive guy on offense. He's the guy that you want the ball in his hands when you can get it. And I thought they did a great job getting him that ball.
6 of 13 Eagles go on third down. Falcons came in second in the NFL on third down, 4 of 13. They go. So from what I remember, I'm going to watch this game again tonight, but it seemed like the Eagles were putting Atlanta in a lot of like 3rd and 6s, a lot of 3rd and 7s, a lot of 3rd and 8 plus. They were stopping the run on 1st and 2nd down. So they were trying to run those stretch plays, those outside the numbers and stuff like that. And the Eagles were doing a great job against it. And great pressure, consistent, deep penetration from Fletcher Cox. And then that dance. That dance was amazing. His Cox was swinging.
It was swinging all over, huh? I thought Fletcher Cox was fantastic. I thought he was fantastic. I thought Brandon Graham in the second half was fantastic. I thought Bradham was fantastic. And like you said, Darby did a great job on Julio Jones. I mean, it's Julio Jones. So, yeah, look, and somebody please get Jalen Mills, on a catching machine and let him learn to catch. He drops interceptions he should have every week, right in his hands. But no, in all seriousness, I thought, I think the last play that they went to Jones, right, on the 4th down, I mean, he really had good position on Julio Jones, who still managed to get up there, but it was just too hard of a play. I thought they were great. The defense shut them out in the whole second half.
Yeah. That's
pretty hard to do.
Ryan was more worried about the pressure than looking at his receivers and going through his progressions. We saw that. But then we also saw him make a couple of really nice plays where he was able to get outside the pocket and throw the ball downfield. That touchdown, was pretty amazing. But great job by Brandon Graham in the run game consistently all day. Bradham had a big game. And then Fletcher Cox. So Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham were amazing. Yeah. And then the cornerbacks. I mean, what can you say about Darby and Mills? I mean, these guys were struggling coming into this game. They struggled the last month, biting a lot of sluggos.
Yeah.
They stepped up. Julio Jones, let's see the box score. I don't think he went over 100.
I don't think he went over 100. No, I don't think so. But I'll tell you what, that fourth, it was like 4th and 7.
9 for 101. 9 for 101.
Oh, he went 101. He had 9 catches. But I'll tell you what, that fourth, it was, I think, 4th and 7. It was like 3 minutes left. And Ryan, Atlanta goes for it. And he catches Julio Jones. They put Malcolm Jenkins on Julio Jones. That pass, if you look, Ryan was getting hit when he made that pass. Or just about to. It was a hell of a pass by him. I got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, they played tough. They gave the Eagles a tough game. But, hey, that's over now. The Dirty Birds can go home and take a bath. Go home, take a bath.
Take a bath. That sounds like something Doug Peterson Corleone would say.
Yeah, exactly. After he stomps their heads in.
Okay, great. Hey, great job by Doug today, man. I thought. Yeah. But all right. So what else can we really get into? The other thing that was really encouraging for me is seeing the defense really, really step up again. So the defensive line, and this was something I was curious about, because a lot of these games that they were playing at home this season were against inferior opponents, and I was curious to see if they were going to be able to handle a more potent offense. Now, Atlanta has been a fraud this year. Like, what was the stat? They went from 540 points to 353. Yeah, but still, there's still weapons on this team, and I've been curious to see, when a really good offense came into Philly to see what this defense would do, and to see what it did today. I mean, it gives you hope for next week, even if they play the Saints. I don't want to play the Saints. But
no. Well, and I think playing the Saints, like, if they played the Saints the first game they had in the playoffs, to me, that's a lot worse than having a win under your belt in the playoffs. Like, I really expect Foles to kind of feel a lot better, have some confidence. And I think if they play New Orleans in the championship game after winning a game, I think it's a lot different than if they would have played them, the first game in the playoffs. So I think that's a big deal. I do. And look, This defense is a different defense at home than on the road, and they're at home. We talked about how important home field advantage is for this team all year long, and I think tonight the way the defense played at home, I think it was a great thing. It wasn't 50 degrees; it was 26 degrees in the second half. Those are all big factors.
Yeah, and credit to the crowd too, because things could have went awry really easily. Again, you had the early fumble, you had that stupid fumble on the punt, but the fans continued to stay rabid right to the bitter end, and they made a difference in this game too. All right,
yeah.
So credit to the fans, credit to each and every one of you. Like
Shout
I
out.
was saying, 70,000 people, one fan. And you guys did it today. You guys brought it.
They came out big time. Definitely. No doubt about it. Fans rocked.
Yeah.
They did.
I'm going to say right now, man, if the Vikings are going to win tomorrow, and then we're going to beat the Vikings.
Oh, yeah. I expect to beat the Vikings. I expect – look, I said this from before the playoffs started. The Eagles get home field – they come out of the NFC. I stick by that. I believe that that's going to happen. And I feel a hell of a lot better about that today than I did 24 hours ago or after seeing the Eagles play Dallas the last game. Seeing Foles get into a rhythm, seeing him perform in the playoffs, I feel a lot better about this team. I feel really good about this team. I'm excited, man. This is going to be awesome. And here's one thing I want to talk about. One more thing. The kicker has got to learn to kick an extra point.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why this guy cannot kick an extra point. He could kick the ball. He could be in China and kick it over the ocean and get it, get a perfect right down the middle. But extra points, he misses. I just don't understand. I mean, he did hit that big kick at the end of the half, but man, I don't want that to cost us at some point, Oh
my God. I when I saw that, I'm like, dude, they're going to totally – be up by 2 points. The Falcons already need the field goal, and fortunately, I shouldn't say. I almost got it out wrong, but fortunately, didn't happen. And the Eagles win.
Eagles win, man. That was fun. I swear, my voice.
Well, I don't know. Fun? I don't know. That goal line stand was gut wrenching.
It's fun.
I almost died of exhaustion, of nervousness. I almost passed out.
Oh, well, look, you may have, poopy stain underwear, but if you win, it's fun. But when you don't win, it's not. That was fun, and that was a fun ending because it worked out.
It's fun it's fun when it works out.
When it works out, it's fun, But, man, what a game, man. What a game. That was awesome. But my voice is totally gone, though.
Well, you do that live stream, and you yell for 3 hours.
I yelled for 3 hours, man. And then I'm trying to read and yell. It's great. It's total chaos. I love it. It's great.
What a game today.
Yeah, what?
Exactly how I thought it would go. I said 13-12. It was 15-10. So I got the total points right. I was right on there. 5.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. I had 24-20, so I had a 4-point victory. It was a little more. I thought
it actually been a little bit more accurate because you got the point differential. Correct.
Yeah, no, I'll give it to you. Look, I was a little bit concerned after the punt muff. I'm like, how many times can we turn this ball over and allow this team, to stay, or stay in this game? But they can't score in the red zone. They have trouble scoring in the red zone. That's been Atlanta's problem for a while. And it really haunted them. I mean, they had the 1 touchdown, but other than that, they had an opportunity, I thought, early to really put it on the Eagles, and they didn't. And the Eagles were able to right the ship, calm down, get things going, and that was it. And the defense, I expect the defense to play just as good next week. And I love the situation we're in right now, man. We are 1 game away from the Super Bowl. I can't believe it, but we are. We are.
1 game away. And it's crazy how it worked out because the Falcons, they got the ball back with 2:07 left in the second quarter. It was 10-6, and they also had the first possession of the second half. So that was their chance to build a lead right after the break, if you could have scored on, say, 2 of those possessions, whether one was a field goal and a touchdown, you're looking at a 20-6 margin. But instead, the Eagles defense, they came up huge to start the second half. You had the 3-and-out, and then that really set up the rest of the half for the Birds. You had another drive where I believe didn't they get to like the 40, and then there was a sack. I'm trying to remember what that was.
Oh yeah, I think there was like a was it the McLeod sack right at the end of the third quarter? You mean? Because the Eagles get the ball. Atlanta gets the ball, they go 3-and-out. I think the Eagles went 3-and-out.
The sack by Bradham because Mack went for the other guys.
Yeah. And early on, they weren't getting to Ryan. Like there was a while where he wasn't getting hit or touched, but they really turned it up, man. I give this team a lot of credit. They made the adjustments. They were the underdogs, right? They're the underdogs. They lose the MVP of the league. And they come in, a lot of them don't have playoff experience too, right? This is Atlanta. They were in the Super Bowl last year. They have all the experience. But when they had to make the adjustments, when they had to make the big play at the end, they're the team that did it. And that was the difference in the game. I'm ready to dance, man.
Ready to go? Ready to do the dirty bird, baby?
Dirty bird in the shower, going to be dirty, get clean. Dirty birds. Look, respect to the Atlanta Falcons. They played good, but they had to go down. And I'm glad that the Eagles were as frustrated and pissed off as a lot of the fans were by the disrespect that they took all week, because the Eagles were disrespected all week. I don't care what anybody says.
Hey, I loved it because they were completely underestimated. Falcons fans had no idea what was coming. They didn't. They thought that they were just going to tear through us like Swiss cheese. Nope. Yeah. Didn't happen. Didn't happen at all. And now they're left heartbroken. Oh, yeah. Fortunate for them. So there we are. Rodney McLeod, by the way. So you talked about that safety blitz. He really times his blitzes really well, and that was a huge play. So that forced the 2nd and 20. I think they got off the field after that, right?
Yeah, I think they got off the field after that.
Yeah, that's when they went and had their long drive. They kicked the field goal, and there was like 6 minutes left. Yeah.
The Eagles, they took a lot of time off the clock, like you said. That was so important, too, to keep that offense off the field. It really was. And did you think that I don't mean to, but did you think that catch by Julio Jones was a catch at the 2?
I didn't think it was a catch, no.
I didn't think it was either.
According to the rule, it's not a catch because the ball was sliding and the ball hit the ground.
But I think it helped the Eagles that it was. Because if they had more room to run around, especially when Ryan was scrambling, they might have gotten open. Everything was tighter down there on 4th and 2, and he has to kind of run for his life and throw it up there. I think it benefited the Eagles in that situation, as weird as it is.
Yeah. And you had that play where – it was crazy because it looked like the Eagles weren't set. They weren't ready. You had I forget who it was that was communicating, but you had the 2 players like shifting around late before the snap, and they were still able to recover and made the stop on this play. So great job, kid, man. Jalen Mills, you are allowed to wag the finger today. You are allowed to.
Wag both of them, buddy. That's all.
Yeah.
Prostate exams for the Atlanta Falcons. Jalen Mills is giving prostate exams. Here you go. Moving prostate exams. Who wants one first? Where's Matt Ryan? They're done. Get him out of here. Sorry. It's just had to be done.
Yep. All right.
NFC Championship is next. Look, those were the NFC champions. We knocked off the NFC champions. People need to realize. Those were the champs. They're gone. They're done. And we're 1 game away. I'm pumped.
I told you guys, the Falcons weren't shit. That team was not that good this year. The defense got better as the season went along, but this was not that Falcons team. And I was waiting for them. I was waiting for them all season long, and it never happened. Everybody was talking about where are the Falcons from last year. You know what the Falcons were? It's the same old Falcons that we've always seen. Yeah. Last year was just an outlier. That's what last year was. They won on a Super Bowl run with Kyle Shanahan. He had a great offense. But all those other years where Matt Ryan would choke, they would have the number 1 seed, they'd lose.
Yeah.
This is what the Falcons are.
That's it. They are what they are. They had their chance. Look, they had their chance. They blew a horrible, heartbreaking Super Bowl. And Atlanta Falcon fans thought they were going to have this rematch and they would come back and revenge it. Not going to happen because they had to go to Philly. Going to Philly is not like going to LA. It's a different ball wax. It's different, 26 degrees there. It just is. So, yeah, the Eagles were disrespected, and the Falcons are done. And I respect all the Falcon fans, respect their team, but you got to go. You got to go. It's our year. So that's that. Who's next? Who's next? Who wants some next? That's what I say.
Oh, man. An exhausting win, but
especially because I didn't sleep all night. I was so pumped for this game, I could not sleep. So I just watching all Eagle stuff all night, and I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, dude, did you hear about all the shenanigans EDP had to go through to get to this game?
No.
So he had a flight to Chicago, and then the flight from Chicago to Philadelphia was canceled. So he had to take a flight from Chicago to Boston, and then he drove 6 hours to come to Philly. So to the people that don't think EDP is a true Eagles fan, that is pretty much the dedication that you would want for any Eagles fan. I'm sure at times, I bet you he tweeted that the Falcons were going to score there at the end, but they didn't. The reverse psychology worked.
Yeah, hey, look, and you could really, maybe he's the reason they won. Maybe all his dedication and suffering to go from wherever he had to go, maybe that was like what put the Eagles' karma over the edge to win. So, hey, look, you do that, you're an Eagle fan. There's nobody should be questioning that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's his Home Alone experience. That's what it reminds me. EDP Home Alone, going from all over the country just to get to the game. Poor guy. But he got there, right? He went to the game. He was there. That's great.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
He was initially going to drive from Chicago to Philly. That's a 16-hour drive.
Yeah, forget that. That would have been hard, especially because of the weather.
Yeah. The other thing I want to get into this game, all right? So I don't want it to be forgotten what the offensive line did. I know we're already probably 30 minutes into the show or whatever, but Jason Kelce, Brandon Brooks, huge games for them. Stefan Wisniewski. So that one screenplay where you had Kelce and Wiz leading the way, but I thought Brooks was the one that was really mauling and pushing people back, and that was lovely to see. So the running game, despite having 8 men in the box on a consistent basis, they were still, despite a low yards per carry average, they were still able to churn out enough yards again to allow Nick Foles, manageable third down situations.
Yeah, and I also really think that using them in the screen pass a little more, I think that's a big deal for them. They don't always have to have 20 touches, but if you can get 15 touches to Ajayi, but he gets 5, 6, passes, I think that's big time, and it helped Foles.
Yeah. All right, so what else happened today? How nervous were you on that final drive? Actually,
dude,
I'm gonna go watch it later. When
I was so nervous. Oh my god,
You probably had to give yourself multiple prostate exams during that last year.
I literally had like 3 or 4 3-finger prostate exams, 3-finger ticklers going at once. No doubt about it. I was so nervous. My fingers, my hands were dripping with sweat. I was nervous, and people on there were just as nervous. Man, I mean, that was nerve-wracking. I was thinking, okay, they score here. We got a minute left. We just need to get a field goal. They're going to go for a 2-point conversion probably. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. And it was like, well, just don't let them score, and then you'll be okay. And that's what happened. So, but, oh, man, I was nervous. Were you nervous?
Oh, my God.
Flipping out.
Oh, my God. Dude, I don't know if I ever had to endure the 3-finger tickle that you had to endure, but, dude, multiple prostate exams is exactly what it felt like.
It did, man. It was brutal, man. And I have to get the 3-finger tickler in front of, like, however many people were on there, all watching me get it. And I'm like, You know, it's pretty brutal.
Well, you know, it was more brutal. The deep penetration from the defensive line today. Oh my God. Fletcher Cox earned his paycheck. Deep.
Jernigan was trying to dig in there too a little bit too.
Yeah,
he jumped all sides, lined up all sides.
Was swimming around too.
Yeah. Great. Fletcher Cox he was fantastic. They could not run. I mean, and I thought they did the right thing trying to run to the outside, and it worked for them, you know, at times. But there's just nothing in the middle, and that's such a huge advantage for the Eagles. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. All right. What else there to talk about, man? We got everything.
We get to watch tomorrow and see who we play. I will definitely be pulling for Minnesota. I think that's the best chance for the Eagles to win. And look, I can't wait. I can't wait to just sit back and enjoy these games tomorrow, knowing that we're playing to go to the Super Bowl. We're playing to go to the Super Bowl. There's something very special about going to the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Despite all the odds, again, it happened. They won. They proved all the experts wrong. I know. I think it was PFF. Like, out of their 12 guys, 11 of them picked the Falcons or whatever it was. So, talking about giving the three-finger tickle, I'm going to give it to them.
Give it to them, yeah. They deserve it. Hey, look, next week when we do a recap, we may be celebrating. We may have to get some confetti or something. You know, we got a little bit of celebrating to do next week. If we win next week, we're the NFC champions. So this is big time, man. We are in big time situation. I love this. I love it. I'm just going to enjoy the moment, enjoy the night, enjoy the week, and it's going to be fun. You know, we'll have to try to do a bitter birds this week, a bitter dingbats.
Oh, we will.
I'm sorry, and you know, this is what it's about, man. This is what you fantasize about as an Eagle fan, to get to these moments, these big game moments. Sure, I would love Wentz to be in there, but look, it is what it is, and Foles did a hell of a job today. So I'm happy with where we're at.
Yeah. The other part of the game that I thought was key was because it looked like there was a point where the Falcons were starting to win the field position battle in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. And then that was that first long drive of the second half that the Eagles went on. And that was the one that gave Nick Foles the confidence. 3 completions to Jeffrey. You had a 3rd and 8 conversion where he slid in the pocket perfectly. He stepped up. He fired the completion. And, you know, that was the drive that really set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah. No, I agree. That was such a key drive, too. Really was. And I don't know. What can you say? Yeah, it was big time.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do final thoughts. Anything else you want to say?
No, just congratulations to all the Eagle fans out there. Enjoy this moment, and not just enjoy the win. Enjoy everything leading up this week. This is big time. The Eagles are going to get a lot of coverage. People are probably going to start maybe respecting them a little more. But enjoy the week. Enjoy the lead up to this game, because we don't get this every year. It's been since 2008. So enjoy this and just go out there and have fun. Congratulations to all the Eagle fans.
Yeah. All right. Let's go Vikings. Let's go Titans. And let's go Jaguars.
Go Fly. Jaguars and Titans.
Fly.
And
Eagles.
Yes, absolutely.
Fly.
Absolutely. I think that the New England Tennessee game's probably on, right? It already started, I think.
I don't want to know the score right now.
I don't know the score.
I gotta write my recap, and then I'm gonna watch it. So that's what
I'm gonna watch it. I could do a Stogie video tonight at some point.
There you go.
Hey, it is what it is. Yeah.
Yep. All right. That's it from us. Fly Eagles fly. 15 win. They're going to the NFC Championship game.